Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a sewing video. So I'm going to be showing you all how I make a top. Now I've already got a top piece cut out and it's made from the gingham fabric I got. So let's see how it all goes out. So this is what I do first. This is the bodice back, the back area of the bodice. Now it needs to be attached. I couldn't attach it because I wasn't able to cut it out in the fold because it was too small. So I need to attach the two pieces together on the fold. So let's do that. So there we go. I've pinned it all together. Well, I've pegged it all together. So what I do with when I'm sewing the seams is I basically hem the seams because I don't like, not neat seams. I don't really like bits that fray. The only part that I can't really hem is like the sleeve hole and the sleeve entrance to the sleeve hole as well. So that's the only places that I can't hem the seams. But I'm going to sew this together and I'll check in a minute. See you in a minute. So here we go. I've hemmed the back and this is the back area. So now it looks firmly attached. The next thing to do is to attach the front bodice to the back bodice. So let's do that. So here we go. The front and the back are attached together. I've run out of pegs though. It took up a lot of pegs. And so I got all of it together. The neckline does seem a bit steep, but we're going to gather that in a bit. But first, I need to attach all of these pieces together. So, while I do that, I'll have to use the sewing machine. I can't wait. This is my favourite bit, I think, like the attaching the front and the back. Right, let's get to it. I'll see you all in a minute. Right, so all of the pieces, well, apart from the sleeves, that's yet to come, have been attached. So basically the front and the back have now been attached together. And now the next thing to do is to solve that steep neckline. So we have to gather it. In gather stitch, you have to put it on the tightest tension and basically the highest setting so that it's kind of loose, but you don't back stitch with the stitching so that you can tug at it to make the bit that you need to gather tighter. So I'll show you the gather neckline in a minute. I need to gather this neckline to make it more suitable and wearable. So see you in a minute. So what I mean by the tightest tension is that the settings on this bit need to be at number 9, the highest number, and also here, I'm not sure if, there we go. So that number here needs to be the highest number, and that's number 5.0. So the top number here. And you can change the setting by doing this. That's the regular setting it's usually on. And here's the setting of the highest. There's also different settings here as well. These are mainly for the different types of fabrics that you use. I usually use number 5 for like jersey fabrics. It's basically like a zigzag pattern. Well, here's all the settings. What the numbers mean. And here's the sewing machine up here. The thread. The bobbin's becoming a bit short on thread, so I might have to change that soon. So I'm going to be doing a gather stitch now. So now we know the highest setting, and when you want to go when you want to get rid of the gather stitch setting, you put it back on number 6. That's what I do. That's its regular setting. So let's get started. And here we go, that's the gathered neckline, the tightest form. It's still a bit, it is a bit very fragile, so what we need to do is now make a neckline. So I'm going to be using either like some spare material or a ribbon. I sometimes use ribbons, but for the most part I sometimes just use like spare jersey materials, but I'm going to try a ribbon today. Right, I need to attach the ribbon on, and I've got a trick to make sure that the neckline isn't all that wobbly looking, so I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so here's how the neckline works. I decided to use a ribbon, a white ribbon, to go with the purple gingham top. So it isn't fully done yet, so this is the part 1 of attachment, just as basically attaching the ribbon together. You need to make sure it's absolutely neat. Now this bit is pretty tricky because it might move around a little, so it's very fiddly and very tricky, so it would require concentration and care, and just making sure that the sewing thread hits both the neckline, basically make sure it attaches them together. It can be a bit tricky, so, and then once I'm done this bit, I'll have to fold it over, basically like a hem, and then sew it. So I'll see you all in a second. So here we go, that's the neckline. So I basically did the neckline outwards instead of inwards to give it more of a unique look, and also to make sure it was neater at the front as well as the back. So that's like the back bit, and here's the front bit. So I think for the most part I did the neckline alright. So sometimes like it's easier to do it with jersey fabric, but I wanted to do a ribbon today. I think sometimes like it can be easier with jersey fabric as the neckline, but you probably have to measure out how much you can use. So now it's onto the sleeves. We need to attach the sleeves together now. So these are the sleeves. This is one of the sleeves, and here's the other sleeve. So what I need to do is basically attach them like this. So this is a bit where they need to be attached. After I do that, I need to gather this area because that's where it goes into the armhole. But it says that the pattern says that you need to gather the stitch. I'll show the pattern that I used after I finished so that it's a good reference. So first I need to do this bit, so let's get to that. Right, so here we go. These are the sleeves. I had to do a gather stitch at the armhole on both of them, and the sleeves are attached together, so now they're ready to be attached onto the top. So I better go and do that. Right, so here we go. The sleeves are now attached to the top, and it wasn't all that tricky really. It was pretty easy, although it might be a bit tight, but it's not really all that hard. It's actually quite fun. So that's how you had to do it, because otherwise if you didn't gather stitch, the sleeve hole wouldn't fit. So all that's left to do now is the hem, and then it's done. So let's do the hem. Here we go. And now the top is finally hemmed on both sleeves and at the bottom. So now the top is finally complete. So I'm pretty happy with it overall. I love gingham. Gingham is probably one of my favourites. Hopefully I did it nicely. And, well, hopefully it's nice and neat. I'm not really a perfect sewer, so it's probably not perfection for me, but I'm pretty happy with it as it goes. Because I really enjoy like wearing the clothes that I create a lot more than buying clothes for the most part. So it is kind of fun to like make things and sew things, and it's just a lot of fun. I'll show you now the pattern that I used. So I couldn't find the packaging of the pattern because it's kind of got lost in a big pile. So, and I did do a recent sort out. Like some of the patterns are in there, so it's a bit lost. So here's like the basic pattern pieces that I used. This is the code number is, if you want to look it up, 6891, and this is for sleeve A, piece 4, and here is piece 2, and that's the back, and here's piece 1, and that's the front. And So that is how I make my usual tops with the woven pattern design. Thank you for watching everybody, and I'll see you all on the next sewing adventure. Goodbye for now.